So hello to everyone who's here. We are broadcasting in the Facebook group, the Niche Agency Owners Facebook group. So hello to everyone there, and also everyone who registered via Zoom. So everyone who's here on the Zoom webinar as well. Hello to all of you. We're here for the webinar on how to speed up your web design process with Anthony Tran from Beaver Builder. I'm just gonna take care of a couple things first, tell you guys a little bit about GoWP for those of you who aren't familiar. So let me go ahead and share my screen for 1 minute, and we'll get this show on the road. So really quick, I just want to say a couple words about GoWP for those of you who aren't familiar with us. I imagine most of you are, though, so bear with me. At GoWP, we are a team that loves to help agencies succeed and grow by providing exceptional white label WordPress services. So our team works under your brand to take care of your clients so you can focus on the important stuff. This means that agencies that partner with GoWP are able to focus on that low touch, high value work that helps them grow because they can depend on GoWP to take care of the high touch, low value work that disrupts your day. Those are things like plugin updates, secure backup, security scans, malware cleanup, and of course, the endless content edits that are always being requested by your clients. So if you have any questions about partnering with GoWP or how we can help your agency, feel free to email me. My email is emily@gowp.com. You could also reach out in the Facebook group if you're there. You can reply to any of the newsletters you get, anything. We're here for you. I also wanted to tell you, if you didn't already know about the Facebook group, GoWP Niche Agency Owners. This is a community of agency professionals who either already serve a niche market, or they would like to niche down. Like I said, we're broadcasting this webinar live in the group now. It'll be available afterwards, so you can rewatch it there as well. So go check out the group, and you can go ahead and request to join if you haven't already. The website, the URL is right there, so it's facebook.com/group/niche agency owners. So now let's get to why we're here today for this webinar. Just a few notes about that. I'm going to be watching the chat here in Zoom and also in the Facebook group. And we also have my GoWP teammate Kaylin watching the Facebook group as well. So if you have any questions, throw them out there and I'll get them to Anthony so he can help answer them. So speeding up your web design process. We've got Anthony Tran here, the lead marketing strategist for Beaver Builder. Anthony started a WordPress design agency in 2013, and it's still in operation, being managed by his wife. Anthony has an MBA in business administration. He is an Air Force veteran and a public speaker. The thing he loves most about his job is being able to help other entrepreneurs achieve their goals and show them how to grow their business. Hence why he's here today. So also something interesting about Anthony, when he's not working, you can usually find him either binge watching seasons of Survivor or sneaking in a few games of Street Fighter on his arcade cabinet. So welcome, Anthony.
Hey, thanks, Emily. Thanks, GoWP, for hosting this webinar. I'm excited to share some valuable advice to everyone who's listening and maybe answer some of your questions as well.
Great. We're so happy to have you. So take it away.
Cool. Well, I'm going to first, I guess I'm going to share my screen because I have a few slides, but don't worry. It's not going to be a presentation just full of slides. Hold on one second. Let me just play slideshow. Okay. So as Emily had mentioned, my name is Anthony Tran. I'm from Beaver Builder. I help provide the marketing, help the marketing team, help share and talk about Beaver Builder. So that's why we're here today, but we're also here to help you agency owners and web designers to kind of streamline and increase your productivity when it comes to your design flow. So this is not your typical webinar. This is obviously a live demonstration, and what I'm going to be doing during this presentation is I only have a few slides, and I'm going to toggle back and forth between actually showing you a live demonstration of a WordPress install. And during this time, feel free to ask any questions. Emily and Kaylin are going to be checking to see what questions you have and asking it, and I'll do my best to answer them. And this is really not a sales pitch. I just want to add value to you. I want to show you what it's helped me with my business, and hopefully it can help you run your business as well. So a quick overview of what you'll learn today. Some of the problems that I encountered or you may be experiencing as well from a web design process or as an agency owner. And I'm going to show you some solutions that you can have when it comes to that. And I'm going to explain why I like to use a page builder when it comes to building websites for clients. Oops, sorry. I'm also going to be sharing you some amazing templates that we offer, how to use templates in your design process. And I'm going to lastly talk about some productivity tips. So before we begin, I just kind of want to share with you some roadblocks that I encountered. As Emily mentioned, I started my web design business back in 2013. I was a solopreneur. I was the marketing person. I was the web designer. I was a web consultant. I was building the websites. I was doing it all by myself. Needless to say, I did hit burnout and I felt really stuck and overwhelmed. And some of the problems that I encountered during this process was back then, I would basically take on clients, try to find a WordPress theme that kind of matched the look and feel of what they're trying to build. So like, for example, if I was helping a photographer, I'd try to find a photography theme, WordPress theme to match. If I was helping a real estate agent, I would have to find a WordPress real estate agent, real estate website theme and try to learn how these themes operate. And it was a constant learning curve. Every single project, not only was I trying to learn about the project, but I had to learn how to work with this new WordPress theme. So that slowed down my process as far as delivering client projects on a timely manner. The other issue I ran across was some of these themes that I would find in these big marketplaces like Theme Forest or something. Sometimes these developers would create these themes, and after a couple months or a year or so, they might decide to not provide support for it. So there will be no updates. If things break, I didn't know who I could go to ask for help. So that was an issue for me. And as an agency owner, I'm sure you're aware, you want your people trust you to provide them a quality product that's going to be stable, reliable for them for the foreseeable future. So I needed something that was reliable, that wasn't going to break every time I updated my theme or plugins. Next, I needed to learn how to scale my business because I was a one-man show. I wanted to be able to hire a team. I wanted to be able to train other people to build websites for me. And it was pretty much impossible when it's a constant struggle where we didn't have something that was consistent to use with. So I couldn't train someone on one theme because I'll be using a new theme every single project. So these were some of the problems that I was having. And then as Emily mentioned, support. When you're done with a web project, a customer needs ongoing support. And I couldn't rely on a good support team because same thing, they were constantly having to learn the new theme or the new platform that we were using. So it was hard to provide consistent ongoing support. And so I needed something that's going to be able to solve all my problems. So here's my secret weapon. Obviously, it's Beaver Builder. I've been working with Beaver Builder for the past year or so, but I haven't always worked with Beaver Builder. As I mentioned, prior to this, I was running my web design business for about 7 years. And we found a solution that really solved all of our problems. Beaver Builder is my go-to theme and page builder for all of my projects, for all of our projects. We've built well over 300 websites. And the beauty of it is it's a front-end drag and drop page builder, which I'll demonstrate for you. There's no coding required. Now, if you do know how to code, great, you'll be able to do some extra things, but for building a good quality website, you don't have to code because you'll see a lot of the things are already working from out of the box. It's also an open canvas. So as I mentioned, sometimes I take on different type of projects, real estate, photographers, wedding companies, restaurants. this theme is an open canvas. You can basically build any type of website you want, any look and feel you want. So it's very flexible. It's also, checks all the boxes when it comes to SEO. It's going to load fast, it's mobile friendly, and you can easily train your team. So as I mentioned, it's really hard to kind of explain all this without showing you. So I'm going to do a lot of show and tell, so to speak. But I'm just going to pause a second and see if there's any questions at this time.
We haven't had anyone post anything, but just a reminder, feel free, if you're in the Zoom webinar, feel free to post them using chat. You can also use the Q&A function. I'm watching that as well. But however you want to throw your questions out there, I'm watching for them. And also in the Facebook group for those of you there.
Great. So here's Beaver Builder, right out of the box, brand new WordPress installation. I'm going to kind of show you what I was mentioning. So this is a front end page builder. If you've used older themes where things you kind of build in the back end and then you got to open a new screen and refresh to see if your changes look the way you want it, this is different. So what I mean by this is I'm going to go ahead and open Beaver Builder. And it opens up a control panel on the right-hand side. You can see I'm still looking at the website from the front of the screen. I'm going to quickly use a template just to show you a working model. So you can see I can use templates, and I'll demonstrate this in a second. But what I mean by front end drag and drop is every single module here, I can highlight and hover, and I can just click and pull and drag over. So I can basically move things around, so to speak. So I can click, drag it here. I want to click, drag it here, and I can change the dimensions. There's all kinds of stuff. I can move things around. So that's what I mean by a front end drag and drop builder. Out of the box, like I said, there's no coding required. A lot of this is built by our awesome support team that are extremely talented developers that make sure that everything is working reliably before every release and every update. And as I mentioned, this can be an open canvas. So we can always start with a blank slate and work from there. So I could easily drag and drop things into this area. And I'll explain this in further detail in a second, but it's basically what you see is what you get. Yes, I see. As you see, I can type in anything and you can see it in real time, and I can move things around. So that's what I meant by an open canvas. It is mobile friendly. So, as I move the screen, you can see it resizes itself automatically, and you can change a lot of things when it comes to your mobile settings. And lastly, what I talked about was I needed to be able to train other people. So one of the beauties that Beaver Builder had changed my life and my wife's life is my wife was working a corporate job for 20 years, and she wanted a career change. She had no design experience, but she wanted to help me with our web design business. So Beaver Builder was able to give her a platform and tool that she could easily use, learn, and eventually build websites. Now she handles all of our website projects. She built all of our websites, and she was able to do it because she's using one tool that is reliable, that is easy to use, and it's consistent. She's not constantly learning the ins and outs of this a new theme, as I mentioned. So as you can see, if you don't currently have a consistent theme, I would recommend you choose one that you like. Obviously, there's lots of different tools out there. I'm only recommending the one that I use and trust, but there are other platforms you could use. But what I recommend is if you could stick with one, your team will be able to learn one, master it, get more efficient at it, and it's something that you can train others and provide reliable support for. Hopefully that makes sense. And then I'm gonna just go ahead and toggle back to our slide. And I'm just gonna pause a second because I showed you a lot of really cool things. I wanna see if anybody had any questions.
don't think any questions have come in, but I do see a lot of designers in attendance here. So I'd love to know, I'd love to hear from you guys, like if you use Beaver Builder. Yep, we have Barbara and Mark saying that they both use Beaver Builder, Mark exclusively using Beaver Builder. So we do have people familiar with the tool.
Awesome. Well, welcome and thank you for being a Beaver Builder supporter. I am going to show you some other cool things that you could do with Beaver Builder if you didn't know so already. All right, cool. So we're going to go ahead and move along. Let's talk about templates. So one of the great things about Beaver Builder is you can use templates. We have some pre-built landing page templates, pre-built content page templates, and also pre-built rows. And I'll demonstrate what I mean, what they are, and how you can use them. And then you can also create your own templates. So if there's a look and feel that you're kind of always using, you'll be able to reuse them so it could even make your website design process even faster. So once again, let's go ahead and do the live demo. All right, so let's start with the blank slate. So just to kind of show you how Beaver Builder works too, you can also access Beaver Builder from the back end. And just to kind of show you that we're not using a lot of plugins or anything like that, I only have 3 plugins installed right now: Beaver Builder plugin, WordPress importer, duplicate post, and I'll show you why I use those. And then the only theme that I'm using is the Beaver Builder theme. So very simple. You don't have to use a lot of tools to make this work. You can just use these few tools that I'm recommending. So let's say when you're creating a page, I'm going to go to the home page. You can access Beaver Builder right here. There's a link right here. If you're editing a page, there's always a big blue button that says Launch Beaver Builder. And there's also from the front where you can click Launch Beaver Builder. So all these methods get you to the front of the site. So let's just kind of work on the home page and we'll go from there. So as I mentioned, when you get the control panel, you have simple navigation at the top. You have a tab called Modules, Rows, Templates, and then a saved section. So in the template section, you'll see that there's a drop-down where you can select between the landing pages, content pages, and saved templates. These are some pre-built templates that we provide you for landing pages that you can use. You can choose any of these, and you can see that when you click on it, it'll give you the option to pull it up. And these templates are completely customizable. So if you wanted to change the background, you could simply click the row settings. And if you wanted a photo background, a color background, so I'm going to show you. Let's just play around with this. Oops. You can change the color. That's not a very pretty color right there, but you can change any color you want, which HTML color codes, or you can also use pictures, as we showed you originally. You can create video backgrounds. You can use slideshows or create a parallax effect. We could add let's add this photo over here. You see, I add a photo, and there's a parallax effect. So lots of cool things to play around with. You can change, as I mentioned, the dimensions of your columns. You can add more columns. You can move things around or delete them. So the templates are great because it gives you a starting ground. Just in case you're kind of stuck, you're not sure what you want to make it look like, you can use some ideas. You can grab some ideas from this and use bits and pieces from every template as well. So say adding a new template, I can either replace it, replace the existing template, or I can maybe add to it. So I can append a new layout, which means I'm adding 2 templates into one, and I'm just kind of pick and choose which one I want to use, which sections. I could delete this one and use another section. So we provide a lot of really cool templates, and we're constantly planning to add some more templates in the future as well. All right, I'm just going to take a quick break to see if anybody had any questions.
No specific questions. We do have Barbara saying that she's always looking for what Beaver Builder can do that's new, so she's excited for this. Cool. And we did have one question on Facebook about when you were, I without sliding the mobile, does it do it automatically? So I think maybe that refers to when you were doing
The mobile?
Yeah, the mobile view, responsive view, maybe.
Yeah. So let me share with you. We do have this tool where it says responsive editing. You
There we
can
go.
click this format and you can see that it'll change things from a tablet view, and you can set specific settings, whether you're looking at it a mobile, tablet, or desktop. And every single module has the capability to change that specific device viewing. So let's say you have a header for mobile and the text is too large, you can always change what that is going to be for specifically mobile. Let's see.
And so that would edit it just in the mobile view.
Yeah. So,
Nice. Very
right.
cool. We had another question that asking about if Beaver Builder has updated their roadmap. The last I saw was a Trello board said it was being revamped.
Yes. So great question. We definitely have a roadmap that we're working to release to the public. We plan to do more releases this year in smaller chunks. In the past, we try to make one giant release, but we found that some folks would like us to do more frequent with smaller updates, and so that's what we're planning to do. Maybe provide new updates every quarter or close to that timeline, just so people will always get some new things to work with on Beaver Builder.
Nice. They liked that answer.
Yeah, cool. Yeah, Beaver Builder is growing and continue growing strong. We're here for a very long time, and we're looking forward to adding some really cool stuff for you guys in the future.
Very cool. Just speaking for myself, I loved how you showed appending the two templates. I think that's really useful, especially when you're feeling indecisive and like, oh, I like that template, but this actually has the things I need. And
Yeah,
very
yeah,
cool.
I love this tool. So yeah, I'm just gonna quickly just kind of jump to some other cool things. So we talked about, this is the homepage, and you can see you can create a lot of great, use a lot of templates for it. Let's say you're working on the about page. We also have content page templates, and what we mean by that is like maybe some of your inner pages. So maybe your about page. We have some pre-built about pages, pre-built services pages, portfolio, team pages, contact pages. You can see we have a ton. So same thing, you can find a template that you like and you can just click on it and it'll plug it right in. So I can easily just start building pages to kind of give me something to work with. If if you don't like working off a blank screen and you're like, gosh, I don't know where to start, you could easily use some of our templates just to kind of get the design or creative juices flowing, right? So this is a services page. I'm just going to find a services page. Here's a services template that I can use. Cool. So I'm going to use this as something I can just start with. And I'll publish it. And then a contact page. I'll throw in a contact template real quick, just so you guys can see it. See, it's a good one. Here's a cool one. All right. So you can see I just created 4 pages with some, nice layouts that you can easily tweak and customize to fit your needs. But home page and about page, services, contact, you can see we just created these. So landing pages and content page templates work very similar. They're just divided into different sections so you can easily find them. But another cool feature I want to show you next is pre-built rows. So if you're like, hey, you know what, I like to work section by section. So let's say we're working on a services page. You can click on templates, and on the top, like I said, if you click on rows, you can click a drop down and it says pre-built rows. Now what this is we have divided certain, rows that you might use for certain things. So for example, let's say in your services page, you needed to add a pricing table. So I could select pricing table, and you can see we have all these pre-built pricing tables that you can easily, same as the landing page templates, you can click on and use. Oops, I had to drag and drop it in. So I'm going to drag it, and I'm going to drop it in right here. And then bam, now I have a nice clean looking pricing table. So, and let's say you're like, gosh, you know what? On this services page, I would really love a FAQ section. I'm going to go and highlight and find an FAQ section. I'm going to click on it, and then they give me all these really cool options here. I'm just going to go and drag this first one in here. I'm just going to plop it down here, and then boom. Just give it a second. It's probably the Wi-Fi. But it will eventually populate into here. And you can see having pre-built rows is a really great way for you to build section by section your website. It's taking a second to load. I think I'm having slow Wi-Fi. Sorry about that. But you get the idea.
We did have one question. Sorry to interrupt you, Anthony.
Yeah.
Barbara was wanting to know if the logo and menu is put together in Themer, or is that just the default?
The one I currently have is the default, which you can change and update via customizer. So while that is moving, I'm going to go ahead and show you real quick. So our Beaver Builder theme has the ability for you to do site-wide defaults. And it opens up the WordPress customizer. You might be familiar with this. A lot of themes use this as their customizer editing tool. So for here, for example, I can set up site-wide accent colors. Like let's say I want all of my links to look a certain color. I can select different color palettes. If I wanted all of my heading fonts to be a certain header, I can change the fonts here, change the size of the font. Let's say I want them all to be uppercase. This will definitely help streamline your design process as well, because if you know every single header you want to have a certain font, certain color, certain size, it really helps provide that consistent look and feel for your site. And then you can also, change your header and change your logo if you needed. I currently have it as text, but you can upload a logo image if you wanted. And then we have different settings for your mobile. If you want a fade-in header logo, there's a lot of different settings. So there's a ton of features in our WordPress theme as well that you can play around with that can really help you speed up your process.
Great, that's really nice. And then Mark was wondering, when editing in mobile, why is the mobile menu hidden?
Well, there's definitely different ways to access mobile. Hold on a second. I don't know what's going on here. So you can definitely access the responsive editing tool quickly. Like I said, you can click on Beaver Builder on the top, and it has tools. And you can drop down, click on tools. There's a responsive editing tool. That's kind of like my quick go-to. But if you wanted to go section by section or module by module, you can do that as well. So let's say I'm trying to edit this button. And if I click on advanced, you'll see there's a little icon right here. And this represents a desktop view. You can click on it and it'll give me my tablet view. And if I click it again, it'll give me my mobile view. So there's many ways to access that responsive editing layout. Every single module, like I said, has that capability to do that. So you can go on every single one. And when you go to advanced, you click on the little icon and you'll see it opens up that responsive editing tool.
Perfect.
Cool. And the last thing I want to show you real quick about pre-built templates is, let's say you like, let's say we built this and we like the way it looks, and we plan to use some of these same, I guess, rows and sections on another site or another page of your site. You can easily click on this down arrow on the top left and click Save Template. And I can just say Demo Home Template. And I'm just going to name it. So that way, if I have it as a template that I like and I want to reuse it again in a future, I can access that Save Template. So if I click on Beaver Builder and I click on the Saved on the very top, Templates, if you go to Save Templates, you can see now I have it available for me to reuse again. So if I click on this, it'll just allow me to add it, replace it, or append it. It's up to you. But let's say I'm just going to replace it. So this is a way for you to streamline your process. A lot of people, when they're building websites, may have the same footer or same sections that you're going to use again and again on another part of your website. It's a great way to not have to rebuild that whole row or the whole module section area. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and go back to the slide real quick, and we'll talk about some other cool stuff. Okay, so let's talk about some other cool productivity tips that we have available within Beaver Builder. We talked I showed you a little about the WordPress theme and the customizer, but did you know that you can actually export and import your customizer settings? So let's say you built website A and you've already set the WordPress theme, with all your favorite font, your header style, layout, everything that you normally would use on a consistent basis, and you want to use it on another website. You can export that setting and you can import it into your WordPress website B project. So you don't have to go in and redo everything again. That's a cool productivity tool. The other one I'm going to show you is you can actually save specific rows, modules, and columns. So similar to templates, you can save templates. Well, you can also save specific sections of your website. And so if you plan to reuse that area, you can quickly access it, plop it in, and reuse it again. We'll be able to, you can duplicate rows, you can duplicate modules. So if you have certain areas that, are going to have the same look and feel, you can quickly duplicate things and, go from there. I'll also show you color presets, which makes your life so much easier when it comes to branding colors and using the same color codes. And I'll also show you how you can copy and paste module styles. And then there's also global settings, which means there's site-wide changes that you can do on a dime. And last but not least, I'll show you how to export and import templates. So let's go ahead and show you this. All right. So we talked about the customizer. So let's go ahead and access that real quick. You just go to the customize button on the top. So if you had already like I mentioned, if you had done there's a lot of settings here. There's a lot of things you can play around with. You can change the accent colors, the heading fonts, the text font. There's a lot of things you want to do, but maybe you don't want to go through this whole process again. If you go down the very bottom, you'll see on the bottom left, there's an export import tab. If you click on that, you can install our customizer plugin that's free. It's something that we've developed in Beaver Builder. So you can use it on Beaver Builder on any project. So let's go ahead and take a look. And now I have the ability to export this settings that I set for the Beaver Builder theme. And you also see the option to import. So once I export and I open up another site, I can import and boom, all of my settings are already the way I like it. I don't have to touch it again. Or you could tweak it, but like I said, this is going to help speed up your design process. I'm just going to pause a second, see if there's any questions. It doesn't sound like anything.
No questions have come in, but I do love that. And I love these tips, especially when you're thinking of people who are serving a niche market. So maybe they're building sites that are similar for people who have the same type of business. Being able to quickly access all of these settings and tools saves tons of time, I would imagine.
Yeah, there's a lot of Beaver Builder agency users who serve a specific niche. Like, for example, let's say you are the go-to authority for photography websites. Photographers might want a certain look and feel consistently. Well, you can be able to quickly use the same look and feel for all of your projects using these tools.
Especially, or maybe even if you had like a portfolio of 3 different styles of photography websites, and then like kind of that to look at, and then you just have those settings all set up. Yeah, that's great.
Yeah. Okay, so real quick, let's talk about save rows, modules, and columns. Okay, so let's say I'm going to go ahead and change the color so you know that this is something new and it's not something we're using from a template. Let's see, I'm going to go purple. How about that? Okay. So I can actually save this entire row. If I wanted to reuse it in the future for another area of the site, I can click Save As, and I'm just going to say Save Row Example. Let's say you've done all these tweaks, you've added the font and the layout that you like, and you want to reuse it again without having to rebuild this entire section. You can go to Saved Rows, and you see I have Save Row Example. This is the one I just created. I can select it and drag it in, and bam, I have it available for me to use. This definitely works well if you're building a same section in another page. So let's say I'm using the About page, and I want to use that same area. Well, maybe services. Here we go. Let's go services.
We had a question come in from Barbara asking if there's a way to use the same FAQs throughout the site in various areas without having to re-enter it all.
Yes, so that's called global settings, and I can definitely show you that. Sorry, guys. You know, it uses a lot of bandwidth whenever we're trying to live stream and webinars, you know, but you get the idea. We basically can reuse the rows, modules, and columns, and I'll definitely show you the global settings in a few minutes. Let's see here. So basically, like I mentioned, you can create different columns, modules, and rows and save them all here. So let's say I wanted to save a specific module like this button, and I can go to advanced, I'm sorry, I can go to Save As, and I can just say Save Module, or whatever you want to name it. Example, module, save. Yeah. You get the idea. You can save these sections, reuse them, and it's right here available for me to use. So saving sections, modules, and columns is a very great productivity tool, especially if you know you're going to use it again. Another cool thing that I want to show you real quick before we get to global settings is you can duplicate rows. So let's say you want 3 icons, but then you need another row of it. You want 6 or 9. You can go over and hover on this duplicate icon, and you just click on it, and you can see how quickly it duplicates for me. And then, of course, you can modify it again if you don't like it. But it definitely helps you if you're trying to build something with a lot of similar layouts. You know, people who create icons or the back and forth, left and right type of look and feel, you can definitely duplicate things. You can even duplicate specific modules. So let's say I wanted another icon that looks like this. I can duplicate it, and then I can drag it to an area that doesn't have it already. So that's how duplicating rows and modules work. Another cool thing that I talked about earlier was color presets. So let's say there's you use a lot of the same colors for your design project. If I go to this, let's say I'm using a purple layout. Oops, click right here. It says color presets at the bottom. I can click this Add Plus button, and I'll add it and save it into my presets. Let's say I want to change this hover color. I can click on color presets, and it's available to me right here. Or if I wanted to add more colors to my palette, I can just click on it, click the plus button. So now when I'm updating certain areas of the website, and I know these are my go-to colors, green, purple, and white, I can simply find it easily and select it. I think I'm in the Easter mode right now, picking Easter colors. But you can see if you have, you know, a lot of times we're working on projects, we might be using three same colors. You know, you have your background color, you have your accent colors, and you know your base color, things like that. So these are great ways to quickly add and save colors so you can access, get to them quickly. Another cool thing is you can, I'm not sure, this is something we just released on our last update, is you have the ability to copy module styles. So if you go to the Advanced tab on the top, if you scroll down to the bottom, you'll see there's an export import area. And let's say I like this icon setting. I can simply copy styles, and then I can go to another module that has something similar, select it, go down to the bottom where it says import, and I can paste it and click import. See how that works? So you can copy and paste. There's certain styles that you like on a certain module. You can reuse it by copy and pasting the module styles. Did I lose anybody yet?
No, that's very cool though. I love that. You did say, Barbara Rowan said, sweet, I can drop a color palette plugin now. So we're always fans of being able to minimize the amount of plugins you have to use, right?
Yep. Yeah, that's one of the things I definitely love about Beaver Builder. Was before, when I build a website, oh my gosh, I'd Frankenstein it. I'd use like 40 different plugins, and then I have issues with compatibility and updates, breaking sites. Once I started using Beaver Builder, oh my gosh, it like eliminated like 20 something plus plugins because I could do it, all those things in this nice platform here.
That's fantastic. She also did not know about the style copy and import, so that was a great trick as well.
Cool. And let's talk about global settings, because that's a great question. I love global settings. So one of the things I love about global settings is, let's say, call to action boxes I use all the time on every single page, right? Let's say this is a call to action button or a row that I want to reuse somewhere else. If I click on the save, as we talked about before, you can save specific rows and reuse them and then customize them. But let's say I know this one's going to be the same on every part of the section of my website, and I just want to be able to update it once, and I'll have to go to every single page of my website to update it to meet the same thing. So what I can do is I can click Save As, and they have the ability for you to select global. So I'm just going to call this global call to action, and I'm going to select Yes. So you know it's a global section because it'll turn like a yellowish orange. See this? Now this is a global setting. So to see this in action, I'm going to go and click Done, and I'm going to go to another page. I'm just going to go to another page quickly so you can see how this works. I'm going to click Beaver Builder again. I'm going to find that saved global. And you can see in your saved area, it actually highlights it in orange as a global section. So I'm going to go and pull it in here, just drop it in. And now when I make changes to this global setting, it'll open up and it will make it everywhere on my site that has this global row. So just to kind of show you really easily, I'm going to change the background color to one of our preset colors. This totally doesn't match, but I just want you to emphasize, and you know exactly what I'm talking about here. Really quickly. So this right here, I just published it on the home page. We know that we have that global setting. I believe we put it in the about page, or was that earlier? Here it is. See, on the about page. I made the change on the home page. It was a global setting, and that same row is also on the about page. And then I didn't have to go back and retouch that whole call to action box. Pretty cool, right?
Very nice. And we already have people making sure that there's going to be a recording available. So just for those of you listening, I will be sending out the recording over the next couple of days, or you can join the Facebook group and it's in there immediately. So you can check it out either way.
Awesome. So we're doing really good on time. I have one more thing to show you because I share with you tons of productivity tips, but I do have one more thing to show you. Another great thing is we talked about saving templates and reusing it on the same WordPress project or WordPress installation. But did you know that you can actually export your templates and import it too if you have a new WordPress installation? So let's say I want to save this template. I'm just going to call it save template sample. I will be able to export and import. So to the same idea, if you usually build the same look and feel projects, or you're trying to build uh, uh, websites that have a lot of the same look and feel, this is a really great way for you to streamline your process. So I'm going to go ahead and go to the back end of the WordPress dashboard. If I go to Tools and go to Export, you can see that there's an option for me to click Templates. And I can select which templates I want to export. So you can see all the little rows or modules or templates that I created. I can select them and export them. And in a new website, let's pretend here that this is a new website, brand new WordPress installation. I can click Tools, Import, click the WordPress importer, which I downloaded the free plugin. And then I can choose that file that we saved, and then I can upload it, and it'll upload those templates for you to use that you saved and created for yourself on a new WordPress installation. So many, many ways for you to recreate or duplicate or kind of use some layouts for your projects. That's what we do a lot. Every single website project that we work on, we export all of our page designs and templates because we know we might use that again in the future. And instead of reinventing the wheel of creating those rows, those sections, those modules, there's pages, we can import and use those templates again, and it totally streamlines the process. So, wow. Okay. I hope you guys enjoyed that. There's a lot of cool things you can play around with. And yeah, I think we have about 12 minutes left for any Q&A.
Yeah, we've got plenty of time for Q&A if anyone has any questions. And Anthony, is it fair to say that they could also ask questions that maybe you did not cover in here too?
Sure. Yeah, I'm in the group, so I'll be happy to jump in later on if people happen to watch this after the replay. And
yeah, that's a
any
great
questions
point.
you guys have.
Yeah, so Anthony is in the Niche Agency Owners Facebook group, so you can hop in there and tag him in a question if something comes up, or if you're watching this at a later time and have some questions there. I know a lot of the people who are attending this today live are use Beaver Builder, so if you guys have any questions about that as well, we're here. I thought a lot of the tips you gave were super useful for me. So I'm not an agency owner by any means, but I do a lot of the web page work for GoWP, and that a lot of times is our webinar pages, or those formats that are just repetitive and redoing them all the time. So I picked up some tips as well. So thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. And I've definitely used GoWP in the past, and you guys are awesome. And I just really appreciate you guys, sharing and creating this Facebook group, because I think there's a lot of people are going to get a lot of value out of it.
Thank you. Yeah, that's the goal. So the Facebook group is there for the members that are in it, and that's what makes it work. So I try by getting these webinars together, we try to provide some value and get the conversation started. So yeah,
So I see something from Barbara. She says she's not an agency, she's a solo designer, so this is invaluable. And I tell you, Barbara, when I first started discovering this, it blew my mind. I was like, oh my gosh, my business is completely changed now. And of course I had to learn how to use it first, and I learned it. I loved it. It totally cut my design process probably in half, or and it was so easy for me to use it. And then I was able to teach my wife, and then teach our team members and people who support our customers. They're able to use it, and even our customers love it, because now they can go in and make changes very easily without having to reach out to the original person who designed their website. So it also saves you a lot of headache too. So you don't having a lot of constant email requests. Please update this text. Please change this photo. you can even demonstrate to them and show them how they can use Beaver Builder once the project is launched.
That's awesome. I know it helps, yeah, when you have those customers that like to be empowered to do their own stuff. So that's great. These page builders do a lot for that. And yeah, we love Beaver Builder as well. I know Kaylin, who's hanging out in the Facebook group right now, she is a huge fan of Beaver Builder and always talking about all the things you can do with it. So that's great. She did ask, so I think this question is for in general for people who are watching, but I'd like to hear your answer, Anthony. What's the fastest you think you could build a website with Beaver Builder?
Oh, I mean, I've built websites for myself, just like some side niche projects, you know, within a couple hours. If I already have a template that I already know is going to be reused. And, you know, that's just being me saying, hey, I like this current website. I'm just going to plop it in here, use the templates, change a couple photos, change some color and text, and boom, I'm ready to go. So it really is really fast. It depends on how much you want to play around with it.
Yeah, which that can also be a deep rabbit hole as well sometimes.
Yeah, but it's fun. You know, that's what we love. We love what we do, right? This is our jam.
Absolutely. Sorry, Barbara also asked, does Beaver Builder have much for e-commerce with Woo integration?
Yes, absolutely. Beaver Builder works perfectly with WooCommerce. It also, we have Beaver Themer too, which is an add-on, which I didn't get a chance to show you guys. But if you use WooCommerce, Beaver Builder, and Beaver Themer together, oh my gosh, you're going to love it, because you can customize the individual WooCommerce product pages as well. You can customize, you know, WooCommerce and the shopping cart and everything. So I'm not the shopping cart, the shopping page. So it has a lot of abilities. You open up a lot of other cool things when you combine all three tools.
I think you just blew her mind. She said, really, with Themer? So
yeah, we might have to do one with Themer, because
she just
Themer,
said, where do I learn this stuff?
Themer is so awesome. I love Themer as well. So we might have to do
we'll get that set up for you guys. So keep your eyes peeled for the next webinar with Anthony. We love any excuse to have Anthony on a webinar. So so we'll have to cover Beaver Themer in the next one. That's awesome.
You guys are the best.
I think that's it. I don't see any other questions coming in. So yeah, I think that covers it. So thank you so much, Anthony. Again, if you guys have any questions regarding this webinar, regarding Beaver Builder, regarding any of the tips or tricks and productivity hacks that Anthony showed you, he's in the Facebook group. Go join if you haven't already, and you can get some answers from him there. And if you're already a member, fantastic. Also, if you have any questions about GoWP, we're there. Any questions about maintenance, content edits, all that kind of stuff, what we do as GoWP, we're always happy to answer those questions too. So yeah, that does it for us. I just last check for questions. No, Leslie Sorrell loves Themer as well. So looks like there's another vote for a Themer webinar.
Right,
there we
sounds
go.
Great.
All right, thank you so much, Anthony, and thank you to everyone who came and watched this, and we'll see you in the next webinar. Bye.